Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are back with another question which is called as the power of 4. Again, this is an easy question on LeetCode, but it is important to understand the basics of maths and data structures. So let us look at the question. So given an integer n, return true if it is a power of 4, otherwise return false. So we are given with an integer n, and this integer n is called a power of 4 if there exists an integer x such that n will be equal to 4 to the power x. So let us look at the question. Let us try to understand the question. Right. So according to the question, we have to find if there exists an integer x such that n will be equal to 4 to the power x. Correct. So what we are gonna do, let us see. Just a second, let me just change the color. Okay, so we have to find an integer n. We have to find an integer x such that x will be equal to such that the given integer n will be equal to 4 to the power x, right? So how are we going to do this? How we can do this thing? Very simple. If you know the basics of maths, then this will become a very simple question for you. So if we know the basics of maths, then we can take a log of base 2 on both sides. Then we will have log of n equal to log of 4 to the power x, right? We are taking a log of base 2 on both the sides. Now if we solve this, then we will get log of n will be equal to log of 4 to the power x means x into log of 4 according to the property of log, correct? Then again log of n will be equal to x into log of 2 to the power 2, right? We can write 4 as 2 to the power 2. So again by the property of log, we will have log n will be equal to 2x into log 2 base 2, right? So log 2 base 2 is 1. Therefore, we will have log n will be equal to 2x, right? Log 1 will be equal to 2x. Therefore, we will get x equal to log of n by 2. So this is our thing. This is our answer. X is equal to log n by 2. Very simple. So now let us try to solve this question. So if for here I'm using Python. So in Python, for using the log functionality, we have a module called math. So I will import math, and here what I have to find, we have to find the integer x such that n is equal to 4 to the power x. So x will be equal to log n by 2, right? According to the maths as we saw here. So x is equal to log n by 2. So let us define a number x is equal to math dot log of n to the base of 2, right? And here one more thing we have to check. We have to check if x is an integer. So now x needs to be an integer. Therefore, we finally check if x is equal to math dot floor of x, right? So if it is equal, then we will return true because it is an integer, and if it is not equal, then we will return false. So if x is equal to math of floor of x, then we will return true, else we will return false. Correct? And this whole thing can be written as return x is equal to math.floor of x. This whole thing can be written as this. So we will just write one single line because it feels neat. And one more thing you have to consider, because you are taking log of n, and we know that by the property of log, n cannot be negative. So we have to take the base case that if n is less than if less than equal to 0, means according to the property of log, n cannot be less than equal to 0. Then what we will return? We will return false by the base case, right, according to the property of log. Okay, so let us try to run. Accepted. Let us try to run the example test cases. Accepted. Let us try to submit. Okay. So what is wrong here? Let me check. If n is less than equal to 0, return false. X is equal to not. Okay, so yeah, we have to check log n by 2, no? And I'm checking only for mat.log n. So I have to check for 2 by 2 also. Yeah. This will give correct answer. This was my silly mistake. It has been accepted, as you can see. This was a very simple question, but two things that you have to take care is that n cannot be less than equal to 0 because we are using log, and x has to be an integer. So we will check, and the math.log n by 2, it will give a float, and log by default the log function also give float, right? So we have to check whether it is an integer or not, and for checking if it is an integer or not, we have to check for the floor of the number. You can also check for ceil as well. It should work for ceil as well. Let us try to check. It has been accepted. So yeah, it is working for ceil as well, but the runtime has been increased a little. That also depends on the environment sometimes. So the runtime is 43 millisecond, and the memory uses 13.8 MB. And the time complexity of this code will be the time complexity of the log n. Right, so that means the time complexity of math.log. Right. So what is the time complexity of math.log? So it is order of log n. You can consider the time complexity of math.log in the order of n, order of log n. So yeah, this was about the question. The space complexity is order of 1, which is constant because we are not creating any other data structures. We are just playing with integers here. Yeah, that was about the question. I hope you were able to understand the question. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you the next time.